Right, mate.
Hello, folks, and welcome to The Vice. Thank you so much for joining us today as we continue our journeys with our wonderful players. And let's meet who our wonderful players are. We'll start, as we always do, with Dragons or Cats.
Hello, everyone. I am the bad influence of dragons being cats. And actually, speaking of which, I came home tonight and there was a brand new kitty in the back in the kitchen. It's like, oh, hello, stray. Anyway, I'm playing with Lycra, who keeps on picking up random sentient objects.
Next up, we have Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar One, yes. I'm playing the Tabaxi Dragon Wizard hidden by Axel. Not Cat Dragon Wizard. Hidden by Axel. Yes. That's yeah. I found it on that one.
There you go. Hey, it is what it
Move
is.
on.
Next up, we have Bird vs. Plane.
What's up? I'm Bird vs. Plane. I'll be playing Iska Toll, the gun-slinging bard extraordinaire.
Next up, we have NNG9. You got your mic going?
I think so.
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Hey, I'm NNG9. I have been enjoying the brisk Canada air, and I play Luna, a water genasi monk who is, as established last week, the normal one.
Yes, it is true. There's
speaking.
There's no going around that. Yes, the water genasi consort monk, all the above. Last but not least, we have. He's good. He's a guy. He's good guy pie.
I don't need it. Hi everyone, I'm Good Guy Pie. I will be playing Luck Goldard, Adventure Extraordinaire, all the way from Elevation Hit. And, yeah. Let's go harass some citizens.
That lawful good just keeps rubbing right off. Next up, it's me. I'm next. Hi, I am Tall Squall. I am your host and DM for The Vice. This is session 125 for those people out there keeping count of our story. We do run our D&D stream 100% for charity. This month we are supporting Games to Grow. They are a wonderful organization, and I'm going to turn it over to Bird vs. Plane to tell us a little bit more about it.
There's my mic. Yes, Game to Grow is an awesome organization that uses role-playing games, such as the very one we're playing, D&D, to teach social skills and build friendships among students and kids who may have issues building their own social networks, or on the spectrum, or dealing with any other mental disabilities. They basically get these kids together, play games, allow them to experiment with different thoughts and feelings in a safe environment, and build friendships with people that are apparently very long-lasting, according to every review from people coming out of this. So if you can donate, awesome. If you can't, no worries. Hang out, have fun, chill with us, watch us flail about for the next couple hours.
If there's no other announcements, we will go ahead and roll our intro with music by the amazing violin boy, Cole McGinnis, and we will see you in just a moment.
Terrible decision.
We totally weren't talking about anime robot games while we were running the intro. Totally not, because there's some new amazing Deus Ex Kilobot game that's out somewhere.
That's the one.
You say that like a joke, but I feel like that's the title of something.
Deus Ex Kilobot?
Dude,
it's actually the name of my it's the name of my indie band. We play
that's
every Tuesday night at downtown. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Last time on the Vice, had some interesting things. We do not have Jeanette for the next couple of weeks, as she is in a production in her hometown. We wish her to break a leg out there and have great shows, matinee shows. But so we had a whole lot happen with Celia in our last episode. As she ventured out of Rian's tavern, which is his magical mansion, she did not find herself landing where she thought she did. She found herself in this sort of vast, very ornate office space with burled wood and giant windows to one side and a beautiful desk on the other. The windows looked out over a place that she had only read about, but recognized immediately: the city of brass in the Nine Hells. Behind the desk, a elegant figure, well coiffed and polished, called her over, said he had business to do with her, and over the course of some negotiation offered her a contract to stand aside while his plans unfolded on their sphere. That he had been long scheming, had baited a hook and thrown it out into the cosmos, and now that he had hooked his prey, needed to assure that nothing would interfere with his plan. As his bargaining chip, he presented a contract that he had already signed with Celia's sister. She couldn't find out exactly what it was for, but that she had in fact signed a deal with the devil. When the contract was passed over to her, for her to sign, to stand aside and let the machinations of this person, this devil, go unhindered, that she should not or could not basically lift a finger against the Archmistress, she found out who she was dealing with. She was dealing with Asmodeus himself, the king of the Nine Hells, as he, apparently, the blood-red eyes of which they have seen across their adventures, is the entity behind the devilish machinations from everywhere from Elevation Pit to the Archmistress and the Arcana Mystica. She signed the contract, was instructed as part of it that she could not speak about it, and even from her own knowledge knew that she could not speak of this dealing without the threat of invoking his presence upon wherever they were. So she left. Contract signed. In addition, she also discovered that there was a bit more to the Riftwalkers than she knew about before. The Riftwalkers was the ancient name for a group that, as it became to be known, that was hunted to extinction, known as the Grim Reapers. The Grim Reapers that we know about, the servants of death. And that she apparently was now perhaps one of the very, very few remaining Grim Reapers that was traversing the plains. It was a whole lot for Celia, so she drank a lot. And we then turned our attention over to our friend Vidar, who is trying to forge an alliance, a pact, to heal some old wounds of Ryan Talia, the sentient sword of the sun, the opposite of who he currently had his pact with, Lysithia, the Sword of the Moon, and ventured for the first time into that mental space in a battle of wills between the two of them. He made it somewhat into her mind, but not deep enough to forge a pact, to make her his pact weapon and Hexblade patron. And upon re-emerging out of his trance, found that damage done within that space would translate itself out into the real world, as he basically lost one hit die worth of maximum hit points and gained a level of exhaustion. The rest of the party off doing some shopping, but we will rejoin the group. I believe we had Iska back at the tavern, the magical tavern, sleeping off her hangover as she drank way too much, way too strong stuff. And the rest of the party, I believe, including Luck. Did you go to Mim's, Luck? I can't recall. Or no, you're sleeping it off too. So why don't we start with Luck and Iska back at the tavern. It's probably around 4 in the afternoon, as activity begins to sort of wake you. Thank you very much for the subscription. As activity downstairs begins to awake you, and sort of you've gotten rid of your hangover. Luck, you've gotten rid of your point of exhaustion from staying up all night drinking with Nate. And Iska, yeah, it's morning. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. On a 6. Yeah, you shouldn't drink with Luck. You really shouldn't. You know this. Yesterday was a lot. It was probably worth it, but yeah. You do smell from down below the aroma of brewing tea. Strong tea, probably like a chai, so it has that spice, reminiscent of the teas that you enjoyed so much at the tea hive, and in fact remind you that in fact Astra and your father are probably here somewhere amongst the attendees here at the conclave. So as the smell of tea comes wafting in your room, Luck, the smell of coffee and bacon wafting into yours, as this is a magical mansion. So those comforts of a morning begin to express themselves, your wants and needs. Tell us about your morning, or actually early afternoon, but you're just waking up. We'll start with Iska.
Oh, she will smell the tea coming from downstairs. She will attempt to roll over, get out of bed, and get up, and fail at that miserably. So she'll stop, she'll catch her breath. She'll go one more time. Not quite, still not there. Third and final try, she'll do it with extra oomph and just go so hard she'll roll off the bed, just so she actually ensures she'll get up and wake up. And then she'll start to make her way, meandering down the steps, in mind to slam some tea, recalibrate, and like you said, probably get out there and try to find her loved ones before they move on.
I just gotta take a second for some new emote hype. Me and Bird got new emotes, and so if you haven't played with them yet, especially if you subscribe to both our channels, they actually are meant to be as pairs. So you can sort of see all the fun and excitement out there. They were done by the amazing Spectrissa. You can check our Twitter for more information about all the great things that she does out there. So, sorry, I had to do emote hype because I'm so happy with them. They're so cool. Anyway, Luck, roll me a Constitution saving throw. You have advantage because you're Luck. Damn you. It's like you barely got drunk after off of all that crap last night. So 17. Yeah, it's morning. There's bacon. Tell us how you get up. Your afternoon. You're at least not exhausted anymore.
I don't even have proficiency in con saves, by the way, people. Never have.
Never once missed a con save after drinking or while drinking.
Yep. He gets up, sort of rolls out, and grabbing his clothes, sort of throwing them on. Probably one sock is like half on as he's coming down. Morning.
Up to him. Still a little frazzled, absolutely. Something like that. She looks outside and sees it's like...
Yeah, you see Rian, he's like, about 4 o'clock, actually.
It's morning, got it.
I think the rest went over to see Mim.
So what's our day?
Well,
Night look like? Luck? More magic? Buffoonery?
Can someone just play catch? Can the villains just play catch and then they drop the ball and we win? Does it have to be magic? It has to be magic, doesn't it?
It's cool to hear you say play catch and still waking up, take it a little too literally and be very excited and grab something to throw your way. But on my con save of 6, it's just gonna go like 7 feet to the left.
They'll try and catch it anyway. Let's give myself a dex save.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Dirty 20.
Reaches out with the gauntlet.
He's done it. The man, the myth, the legend, Luck Goldheart, caught the villain ball and saved humanity once and for all.
Yeah!
Look to Rihanna and be like,
Oh. Well, I'm certainly not invited, but the rest of everybody who's anybody, of course, will be at the fate binding tonight. Iska, that rings a bell in your head. The invitation you've been carrying for 6 months.
Translation.
pull out this invitation she's had since episode 2?
Yeah, pretty much. It's about 7.
7? The thing.
Oh, that thing. The thingy thing.
The
Rian
thingy
looks
thing.
at you. How'd you get that?
It's a very long story. Very. You played a part in this, whether you know it or not. So thanks, but also, listen. I need to start drinking to get into it, and I can't do that.
I think I'll take Luck's solution to this, and you see him take a shot.
Perfect. So yeah, we have this to go to. Is it for everyone in our party if they want to come?
Yep, it was for you and your entourage.
Oh, nice, the entourage, crew rolling in. So great. We have a couple hours, I think, before that begins, right?
Usually it starts about 10, and then of course the Convergence is right around midnight.
Perfect. Great. We'll rally with the troops at some point and head that way.
Wait, everyone who's like kind of important is here, right?
Pretty much. A few notable exceptions, but if they have power diplomatically, in the merchants or financially, this is the place to be.
Oh, I can go say hi to that lovely drow lady.
Well, I'm sure the drow does have their contingents here. Mademoiselle Audrenois, the drow ambassador.
Yes!
Well, she's quite a handful, I hear. a bit spiky in her old age, as some say.
She'll love me.
Well, if you say so. But yes, I'm going to have to probably bow out of any of those festivities, as I'm sort of person non grata among any of the Arcana Mystica who might be attending there as well.
I mean, that being said, with everything that happened, is there a target on our back? If we head there tonight, we kind of screwed up the plans to, annihilate all of existence. So
I would
I don't see
certainly.
a target.
I would tread carefully, I would think. But the reality is, well, in that gathering, after some of the nefarious plots that unfolded in conclaves past, it is very well secured. In fact, usually there is a anti-magic field over the entire courtyard area that they've set up for it, out of abundance of caution. Of course, everyone pretends like it's not really needed, but so it would be the danger is minimal from magical sources, but a well-placed dagger still will do its business, and you won't have access to any life-saving magics until you're removed from the field.
don't get stabbed, okay?
Always a good idea. Always knew you were a quick learner.
My bandages exist.
Oh, they do. Absolutely. I mean, what's a stiletto to the heart when you have a bandage? These stick themselves. I call them band-aids.
Band-aid. Oh!
That'll never catch on. Drop that one.
No.
Your friend Ambrose stopped by earlier, said they were almost done with what they were working on for you, Iska.
Great. More of this. Oh, okay. Well, I'll probably make a stop there real quick. Luck, how's your night looking?
Casual conversation with Drow and probably dawdling about.
So a normal Tuesday. Got it. I'm going to finish my tea and I'll probably head that way. You're welcome to come join me, or by all means, if you want to just rest and relax for the big night, feel free, big guy.
I'll dawdle about. Pretty sure sleeping all day is bad for your health. Or something like that.
So my plan will be at some point to finish tea and I guess head that way.
Okay.
If we want to check out other folks or whatever.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check in with Axel, Vidar, and Luna. Cilia did another shot of whiskey, stood up, and basically just walked out of Mim's tent. The rest of you, Vidar, you've just awakened from your trance. The burning tattoos and markings in red upon your arm still sort of, even to Luna and Axel, you can smell that sort of burnt meat, burning flesh, almost as though he's been branded as he comes to.
Do you smell that?
Yeah.
Running here. Yeah, I know. Are you alright?
Oh, I'm fine.
Because
Gonna look at-
that's coming from you.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
similar to the markings of Ishkarin, but now just burnt into his skin red, and the tips of his hair's gone white.
I take it didn't go well.
Oh, it went fantastic. I have this strange irk at the back of my neck. I just look at Luna. It's like a slow reflection of the body as Vidar's form shapes into Luna. And then shifts back.
Shapeshifting.
Like a reflection. That's interesting.
Ah, that's probably from me channeling. You hear the Duke chime in. I've always been a patron of the theatrical, so you will be able to wear many masks, as I am now acting as your channel for magic.
Thank you.
Not intended, but a side effect.
Well, I'm gonna have to try that again really soon.
Don't get yourself hurt again.
Oh no, please! I always will. But I am without a weapon. I have a rock. Holds up Ryan Talia, the golden rock.
Sort of sitting there, glowing ember of malice.
So the axe was like, no, that's my axe. He's a rich.
I'm not skilled with an axe. I prefer a sword.
Yeah, well, I mean,
As you say you
Giving it
prefer
to
a
you.
sword, a long sword appears in your other hand. Whoosh.
Ah.
Oh.
Okay,
Just a basic,
Alright.
standard sword.
that will do. That will work. Okay, wonderful.
hold on.
What?
This is not in character. Hold on a moment, out of character. Axel's gonna try and telepathic communicate with Vera. Are you sure everything's okay? Does it? Does telepathy work?
It does.
Yes.
Okay.
You hear Lyle's voice in your head. That's more of a bond because of everyone participating in my reforging. But I do need a new wielder. There's very few who will be able to, though.
What is required of your new wielder?
Well, to be of some constitution formed of magic. That's why Eladrin were always preferred. So it is those. Unfortunately, my power becomes overwhelming for most mortal creatures. It is an unfortunate side effect. Most likely, there are only two of you who would fit the bill. One being your son, talking to Axel. And while there would be a bit of a battle of alignment, probably luck would be the other. I am born of chaos, and luck is one of order, but it has been done before.
Well, I mean, I'm certain Riley would be very glad to wield you as a weapon if you want to ask him.
Absolutely. Of course, I wanted to check with you first, as I didn't
It's
want to
all
offer a new toy without a parent's permission.
I mean, he's wielded you before, so this is all right. Remember when we were training?
And
So,
you
it's
see
good.
Lysithea change into that oversized sort of siege bow that he was before, while being wielded by Riley to learn how to shoot. Well, shall we go? Why not I let you do the honors of you passing me off to him?
All right. He'll take Lysithea and
I believe
guess,
Riley's back at the inn. Or at the
I
tavern.
know. I know where Riley is. I'll go get him, and then we can all head out shopping. How about that? We do need some supplies, equipment. I've got some things to sell. If that's you two all right with that? If you want to go do. Actually, Luna, since you're a negotiator, would you like to join me on the shopping trip, and then you can do a lot of the hard sell? You know, get the good money coming in, sort of thing. I mean, I don't really.
Sure.
And we'll probably pick up Iska as well. I know, you guys need any equipment for tonight and all that thing, and the emergency clothing, and let's just go, shall we? If you're okay with that, Vidar.
Oh no, of course. It's two choices between someone competent and someone not so much. I got so
Drugs. Drugs. Thank you very much for your time, your Highness.
You can just refer to me as the Duke is fine.
As Duke. Thank you, Duke, for your time.
It's been quite wonderful again. See you later, Sonny. Bye, Mim. Vidar's just like
Love it.
his eyes are beaming, and he's just cocky walking. He's on top of the sun.
Hey.
As you all walk out sort of onto the main thoroughfare, the main midway, you do bump into Iska heading the other direction. You see Axel. He's carrying this large siege bow that you had seen before, that Riley had wielded, that obviously Lysithea. And Luna is there, as she seems to be a little bit in mission mode. Yes, tell us a little bit what Luna's up to as all this is unfolding. I think she might be frozen.
Shopping is now involved in terms of clothing for a fancy event. So Luna's definitely in, just like, all right, I need this fabric. What outfit am I planning for people? And no, they don't get a choice. So yeah, no, she's very much mission mode.
Mission mode and on a deadline. A short deadline.
Yeah, very much. Like, let's
We've
go.
got- We got all the clothes.
I fly
for the
through this
ball, didn't we?
entire crowd. I don't have time.
Yeah.
We got the clothes for the ball, so we've got some clothes. It's like, are they up
those
to
are old
Luna
clothes.
standards?
Those are
yeah,
old
exactly.
clothes.
Well,
New
and-
events.
And literally, most all of the same people will be there. Are you going to wear
Yeah.
the same outfit twice?
Right.
Is Luna going to let you wear the same
That's
outfit
why Axel
twice?
has two
The
outfits.
answer is no.
Yeah.
Like, Axel has two outfits. All right.
So,
She's definitely mission mode.
yeah, no. So Axel, as soon as you hear shopping, and we'll say that you bump into Iska, and she's got her invitation out to remind everyone. There is, or actually, probably Luna recalled that there was that invitation. About a second and a half.
The player even recalled for once.
Yeah, about a second and a half later, Axel, almost like his cat-like heritage, is by the scruff of the neck, actually the mane, basically hauled onto an ice slide, and they're off. For Iska, for once, it's not you.
Alright.
And they're gone.
And declench, and okay.
And breathe, and now we can have some chaos.
So
Oh,
Vidar,
man.
Luck has exited out of the midway for his walkabout. So you see, you have Iska, who seems to be heading the opposite direction as the rest of the conclave. And Luck, where are you headed? Are you just headed out to give a wander, find a tavern, do other things? Go find the drow? I mean, that's always a thing.
We'll go do that. Yeah, you got anything else planned?
Okay. Vidar, how about you? Are you going to join Luck or wander your own direction?
Let's go. Where were you going again?
Back to Theo.
Ambrose and Theo.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give some space between me and Theo at the moment. So I'm gonna go to a tavern with Luck. I'm assuming he's going to a tavern.
Okay. So,
This guy, can I have 50 gold?
For what? We'll look at Luck.
Anything he needs, I'll pay for.
Yes.
Okay.
One day.
She'll hand Vidar 30 gold.
Excellent. He doesn't look at it. He doesn't even count. He's just like, awesome.
It's like when Grandma slips you.
For all we know, Celia's watching. She might be watching you right now. Shop smart.
yeah, you actually, you don't, as you all exit out on the midway, even though Celia had left only a few minutes early, you do not see her anywhere, which doesn't raise any alarm bells because, with a stealth of 35,
See, that's my mistake there, Iska. I know she's always watching. Off of a grin.
So we're going to follow Iska. So Iska, you head back over to where the sort of druids camp was, where as they masqueraded as sort of the circus animals for Mims, and step through the doorway of one of the cages and find yourself back in Ambrose's lab, that threshold. You know all the rules, basically. There's the clogs out here and through the door. And as you go in, you actually don't see Ambrose, but you do see Theo. He is hard at work at his workbench, and you can see what he is working on. It is your whip that you had left with him after you last parted ways.
Oh, she'll just walk up behind him, probably as silently as possible, to hopefully just get a peek at what he's working on before he has a chance to spin it.
Do me a stealth check.
I think there's still some of that reservation there. She really wants to believe in him, but...
Ooh, on a 25.
Celia, thank you.
He is buried in his work. You are able to take a look. Do me a perception check. On a 7, you don't understand the technology that's going on, but you now see the Hound Tongue Whip, which has been a weapon you've carried for months and months, literally your first encounter with one of Bati's creations, now back in the hands of this refaded Theo, who never is to become Bati, as his fate was erased, working on this. And before, it was, in a way, almost an ugly weapon. I mean, it was this serrated, sort of black, tongue-like whip that had these blades on it and sort of this inner sort of red heat and fire in it. You now see it as this polished silver whip. It is, instead of it being sort of these barbed, bladed sections all connected together by sort of sinew, it is now sort of these silver, three-dimensional almost diamond shapes
Ooh.
that are then connected by a sort of twisted, almost close to the looking like the braids that are known for Qualvarine, but they look almost to be gold and platinum through the center, connecting these silver sort of diamond plates. And you can see as he is working with it, they collapse down together to almost just form a small rod and then expand out to its whip-like form. So it'd be something whereas before you had to coil the hound tongue whip, this basically just looks like almost less than a scroll case that would be when it's on your belt, when it would be there. When it's in its collapsed form, it does not even look weapon-like. It looks as though it is some sort of just benign thing, but then expands out into this whip-like form.
Cool.
He still does not see you. At a 25, he is deep in the work.
I think she will actually be, I mean, a perception is 7, and that very detailed description you gave me, I think she'll let out just like almost a whispered, kind of sneaks out, just a wow, as she's just like transfixed by like how much better looking this is, and how much less evil and sinister looking this sounds.
He looks around to you, a little bit startled, but he's got a big smile having heard the wow. I hope you like it. It is, I think you will. I've renamed it for you. I hope you don't mind, or I've started to call it something. If you do not like, certainly you can change it. But it is, I wanted it to be more representative of the person that I know, and not the person that I was. I present to you the Shattertongue Whip. And you will see it appear in your treasures.
Ooh, I'm excited for it. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff in here. There it is. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Boy, he about to do it. Good night.
You can reveal this to the party, or you can keep it to yourself for it to be a surprise when you use it.
I think I'll wait. Oh, I think she just kind of, grabs it quickly, not out of like, whatever, just very excited for it, and really just like almost caresses it. Just the difference that this is. This is no longer the separated tongue of a mechanical robot dog that chased her and tried to kill her. There's just like there's true beauty in this now.
Yeah.
And how clean and how effective it is.
And as he
so
shows
really,
go ahead.
No, by all means.
As he shows you how to expand it out, you can give it a try and sort of just give it a snap. He kind of goes, don't use everything it has, but if you'd like to get a feel for it, he steps back.
I think she'll just kind of like point it in an area, like an open area.
Yeah.
And do a quick snap, and a small one, but a one nonetheless. And I'm pretty certain I know what's going to happen with this.
You do the snap, and whereas before there was the Hound Tongue Whip would crack with this sort of evil, sinister, sort of almost slithering crack, this is this clear, pure note that sounds and reverberates down this almost like it was itself an instrument. You can hear the resonance and the harmonics in it, and you can understand why it can be so powerful, knowing yourself of being a bard, what power that sound can sometimes carry with it.
She kind of sits with it for a second. Just kind of ruminating on it before she turns back to Theo. And struggles to find words, or what words to say and how to say them. And it's probably pretty clear that she's not exactly sure what to say, but she gets close a couple times before just kind of nodding and saying, thanks. I think someday, if we do what we're meant to, if all this isn't over, there's going to be more to that. But today, thanks. And she'll reach out a hand for a handshake.
He shakes it and just says, "You are most welcome."
I think we're out early tomorrow, so this is the last time until then. Keep an eye on Ambrose. Make sure he's safe.
For sure, I believe he is making preparations. I've got one more thing that I need to finish up for Axel, and but I'm not sure if he's asked yet, but I know I've got one more thing to do. This time travel is weird.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Before I get a headache and we're on a good note, I'm
familiar with this reaction.
Great, good. Good. Just wander out.
Yep. So, Luck and Vidar. So yeah, there. It's in your box. I hope you like it. Let me know if you need any, if you've got any questions about the new Shattertongue Whip. Let's catch up with Luna and Axel. You all go zooming through. It is a crazy and wild ride through. I was gonna say I almost want to like play battle music as it says Luna is off.
Have you been to some shop and sales stores before? Legit.
Legit. But we will have. There's got to be something good here. What's this one? Let me see if I've got at least something a little bit less calm.
Clothes is serious business.
I'll do the vision music. Yeah, that's a little bit. Actually, I can do this. Total battle music.
I still feel like that's completely appropriate.
Yeah. Luna is on a deadline, and with an Axel by the scruff charging through a unfamiliar set of tents and caravan vendoring to find what her mind has conceived of her. So what are you looking for first? And Axel, I'm going to let you do we'll start with persuasion to see if you can get if you can even like influence Luna's path.
That's disadvantage.
There's a scroll shop over there. I can sell and potions over there. You'll see if we can get some stuff sold before they move on. So we actually has, I don't know, Luna has money. Luna has the money, I think.
Luna is willing. So put it this way: if you're just like, hey, can you drop me here? She's willing to drop you, but you will have to catch back up with her.
Yep. So he'll try it. He'll try and get you to 11.
So on the 11, as you're just pointing out shops of where you could do business, it's not getting through. You are still you are on the ride. Yeah.
By the time
that
I move
sounds
to
like
the
not
paving, it's already
clothing, so
way
why do I
behind us.
care?
Yeah, that's cool. We'll get around to it.
So, Luna, what is your first thing? Are you fabric, accessories,
Fabric
base
first.
clothing? Okay,
Because we will in fact be Iska's entourage, so we need to be coordinated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll me a investigation. That's what it's called, not inspection.
Can I roll that as well to help out?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Since
that's
I
not
was-
terrible for her.
Since he's on the train, he might as well go take the journey, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, he sees all
Yeah.
Cool.
the shit. Yeah, clothing.
So as you go blasting by, I think your eyes. Tell me what catches your eye first, and then you realize there's fabric, and you might actually press the button to get the bus to stop.
I think he
yeah,
noticed.
that's right. Did you really? Yeah.
I noticed right next door there is in fact an armory, and it sort of just thought armory, shiny. Oh, clothing. It's just like he was looking in the right place at the right time because there was something that's shiny that got his attention. So he noted basically something that has like the tailor shop. So it's got rolls of fabric, a couple of mannequins. There's people. No one actually working in the open, but they have the back door, which he knows moves into sort of this time displaced place on the enchantment, so it might be usable. So he's like, it's clothing.
Okay.
So he sees a tailor, basically.
Yep. So you do see this huge tent that at first it looks as though it is just a very ornate tent, and then you realize it is just loaded top to bottom, left to right, with bolts and bolts and bolts of fabric.
Sweet. Yeah. So he points that out, shouts out, clothing over there.
And Luna will immediately go that way.
As you go in, you do see the vendor is there, and basically seeing your arrival and your abrupt arrival, realizes you're here for business. There's someone else in there that they just sort of like, hold on, knowing there's going to be a problem if you're not attended to. So
very much so, there will be a problem.
So what all are you looking for? What is your concept for this evening's attire?
So concept for this evening's attire is essentially, she's actually not even concerned about accessories at all, because when she said like, oh yeah, we're her entourage, like we are essentially going to be Iska's decorations. So she's gonna have kind of like this, I'm thinking like royal Egyptian like it kind of deal with like silver, white, and blue, and all the rest of the party will have predominantly. See, you asked, and you thought
this
I
is
didn't
D&D.
have an answer. Like the rest of the party will be in some mix. So it's like no one will have all three except for her, and like the primary color will be like the white with the silver adornments, and the blue bean accents kind of like because the crown piece will be sort of like one of those. I can't think out of it, but like one of those curved back.
Okay, gotcha.
Deals.
Yeah.
And so she's like, yeah, and so we will have, and like in our outfits, it's like we would be bangles on her arms with how the accents are gonna work.
Gotcha.
It is just so our outfits will complement hers.
So yeah, finding these bolts of white and silver fabrics are not a problem. In fact, you find a much broader selection even than what you had found in Falcon's Crest. You were amazed that someone actually traveled here with this. Some of it you see they present to you as sort of local. Some of the local fabrics that were done here in Highmount, as there are quite a few very accomplished weavers, and with the natural surrounding trees as where many natural silks are harvested. Silkworms and the silks are found here. And so you do find this halfling shows you quite preferentially towards some of the local fabrics. They are,
That's fine.
Yeah, to your discerning eye, they are very
that,
high quality. And as you sort of use your training as from Highmount, that you convey a sense of station in that this might be used for something, and she would basically want you to use the local fabrics for whatever.
Oh, 100%. That's the closest thing. And just like, like this should be a representation of the most prodigious. This is not Luna's voice, but this is essentially what you get across. Like prodigious that Hive Mount can offer.
Right. And do me a persuasion at advantage.
I can do that as soon as the tablet opens back up. Persuasion. Come on. Computer, work with me. Thank you.
I
Nope,
love that
that's
there's
not
battle
one.
music going on. On a 12, it's
don't
enough.
know.
I mean, she wants to put forward the high mount wares, and so absolutely, she is willing to give you a good price on this. Axel, while this is happening, roll me a stealth check to see if you can sneak out and go do your business. If you want
Those
to.
sound like empty arms to me.
No, he is going to help out. I think what he's going to try and do is, since we are lacking the people, he's going to try and use a major image to produce copies so that the designs can be put together and crafted with the visual shapes of the people there. So we can
Oh, that is fantastic, and a terrible idea to let Luna know you can do. You have been drafted permanently.
He's done this
Cool.
before. He's just done it on a smaller scale. But yeah,
Yep.
so
True enough.
just
On your natural
move quick.
20, we're going to have some luck play into this, not the person, actual luck.
luck shows up there. What?
Luck shows up.
I don't know.
No,
What's going on here?
when you start pulling these up and you see, and Luna begins to pull out her tailor's tools, this sort of older halfling woman goes, we do have our workroom that you can rent for your creations if you would like to take a look. And she pulls back a curtain, and you see basically a full-blown, like, sewing machines, dress mannequins, everything, as she, again, is very interested in her creations to be modeled by one of High Mount's own, Iskatul.
Okay, so Luna will ask for the price, and also, what was the name of this establishment?
This is the Cloth Menagerie.
Cloth Menagerie. All right. I will ensure that where the fabric came from was announced. Very good. And pay whatever.
You can do me a persuasion to see where in the price range that you are going to land,
Sure thing.
or intimidation. Oh, well, on the 21,
Getting good
you get a significant discount. This is bolts of silk. And the use of the workroom she seems to throw in as well. But it's still going to set you all back a good 700 gold pieces.
Reasonable.
About 100 gold pieces per member of the party, per outfit.
Yep. Makes sense.
So I don't know if you've got that directly or as...
I do have my own tally. I'm not sure if somebody else is keeping it or not, but I do have one.
Yeah. So, Axel, you certainly hear this price, and you do know somewhat the value of some of the things you have. So, as she's not asking for this all up front, just for the, for half up front, if you want to try to do some selling while she's selling while Luna is sewing.
Well, I'm not much use here. I can do like the basics, fit holes and everything. Do you want me to
Tinker,
go?
Tailor, Soldier, Seller. There we go.
I was going to go get some money and we can bring it back and all good.
Yep. And certainly you can be doing your
Luna's
minor...
in her own world, so he will go.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can be doing your
Luna's not paying
major
attention,
illusions as
whatever.
well
Yeah.
to help out.
Yeah. The
So-
major illusions stay there as long as he's focusing, so they just
Oh, yeah.
stay there. They just can't move.
So there you go. I want you now, Axel, you can, in this area, this does seem to be sort of like the high-end district, sort of where the more well-to-do and sort of more permanent structures have been set up. Many of these aren't just tents. Some of them actually have floors and ceilings, as people do get ready for this up to 3 to 4 months ahead of time. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check for finding the places that you need to find. On a 24. Finding a scroll shop, again, also for sort of your level 3, mid-level, low-level scrolls. Mm-hmm. Easy enough. You can roll me a persuasion to see how you do on your prices.
I am going to use the trickster rune to give myself advantage.
Ooh, yep, you're able to
No, he's holding that off for a better sale. So,
okay.
Just use the normal one.
Okay.
Maybe should. Can I?
You can spend on these rolls if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use inspiration on this one only. I'm not gonna spend my few luck die left.
Okay.
Might get me better than
on a 12.
Nice.
Get you up to 14. You do not get full price for these, but you get 75% of what we had talked before for all of your scrolls.
Sweet. All the scrolls he's selling. Yep.
And I believe it was mainly scrolls, correct? Was there anything else other than the big one?
And it was just some buying of health potions, which I presume he can get.
There's potions nearby here. On the investigation, we'll say you were able to find the potion shop again close by. Sort of, this is all the scrolls and potions is sort of general magic items piece. I will let you do another persuasion for getting some potions, though.
Yep.
As it's a different counter. 13. You're paying a little bit more than you normally would for the potions. Just let me know, and they basically are going to have about 25% markup at the 13 persuasion.
He's not going to get many because he needs the gold for Luna, but 2 or 3.
Do you want to ask about where you might be able to, who you might be able to sell for rumors?
He is going to get actually a pricing. Really, he's just going to get
okay.
Call it?
A quote, a
valuation.
Yeah.
Evaluation. That's the one. Appraisal. On the potion of longevity.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a. I'm gonna go. Insight. Yeah, roll me an insight to see whether you can determine what this person tells you is good, bad, or indifferent.
He has an idea it's worth a lot, but he's not sure of the precise number.
This person, gives a whistle and acts really impressed, and tells you that it's probably worth about 3,500 gold.
It's a good amount. Are you willing to buy it for that much, or because I know there's a lot of people around here that I could check in with. Do you know any of them? Perhaps
when he.
He's like, I
he gives a big smile and goes, "Oh, of course, I'd buy it for that." And you can roll me another insight check.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not going to sell it now. He's going to get Luna to make sure that this sells well.
Oh, okay.
Insight, not persuasion. He's like, okay, well, I've got your 13. I've got your number. I'll come back if I need to sell it. I just got to do some things.
On the 13, you see his face become crestfallen, where you don't sell it to him for that amount of money.
Yeah. Right. Well, thank you for the potions. We'll see what I can do. I'm going to talk to my manager and organize a person who's good with the money.
Oh, we can take care of this right now. You know, I might not have the cash to buy it later.
We'll do it later.
Even more crestfallen.
He's been burnt by this before.
As you walk out of the shop, look at that, Axel learning. Yep. So with that, are you going to head back to Luna's, or are you off to do other things? I know you wanted to. You've got another piece that you want to sell.
He wants to.
Necklace.
Wants to sell. Oh, the Nicholas, yep, who has a gem shop who might be able to get him some of the other things. So yeah, he's going to try and find a place that will buy the necklace.
Okay. So as you go looking for that, we're going to stick with your earlier investigation. That you're able to just basically sort of go down the row here and find different ones. You walk in, Jim Cutter is in there. It is a half-elf figure. They have quite a selection, both of raw gems, cut gems, and things set into jewelry. So you found the right spot. Go ahead and you can give me a roll, and we'll see what how you do on.
He is going to use the trickster rune on this one, I think. So I'll give himself advantage.
Good thing.
Good thing I did. That was an 8.
Ooh.
On an 18, that's high enough.
Stumbles over his words, but
yeah, no, you
magic.
place the trickster rune under your tongue, and you've got a lot sort of tied up in this piece, and it's a good thing that the trickster rune was able to cover over your eagerness to get top price for that. I would say with the 18, he does offer back. I claim what was top price, 2,000.
Yeah, the price was max 2,000. Top
Yep.
Of the price,
So he offers you 2,000 gold pieces for it.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And since you've done such a great deal, do you happen to have any fossilized amber?
Oh, and he's able to pull out probably about a dozen pieces of it that he has in a drawer back in the back. Not a whole lot of use for jewelry, but I know magic users like them. So.
Yeah, exactly. So how much for a piece?
Each one of these is 100 gold pieces.
Oh, just 100. I'll grab 2. 3.
Hand you 3 for 300. Again, that's sort of part of that persuasion before, and as you've got the trickster room going on, he gives you a bit of a deal.
Sweet. And he also asked, hey, do you have any friends who do glass cutting? Can you point me to them? Maybe. He's a magnifying glass.
Do you say magnifying glass or glass cutting?
Well, yeah, I need like a magnifying focus, really fine one. Do you have anyone that might be able to sell them to me?
As he does have jeweler's loops, do me a persuasion check, and you have advantage again.
Yeah, more of these, but because I'm goddamn cursed, my modifier has gone to 0.
On a 19, he offers to sell you one of his. He has one that he will sell to you. As you sort of spot that with a 19, you spot that he basically has a whole drawer of them for all of his different examining of gems, and
right.
So yep, you're able to take care of it pretty easily.
Yep, sweet. And I think that's enough to cover Luna. And yeah, he'll head back.
Cool. With that, we're going to take a super quick break. Bird is going to tell us a little bit about our charity, and we will be right back.
Can we transition from the stressful music before you leave?
Yes, we can transition
we
from
doing
special music. Sorry, I should have moved back to it before.
Which is not the case with actual shopping.
No. There we go. Let's go back to cool maps.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks, man. Well,
There you go.
as I said
Let's
before,
do this.
we are here supporting Game to Grow, which is an organization that uses RPGs like D&D and other storytelling games to help build social networks and help people who have issues with social situations, who are on the spectrum, who have mental disorders or disabilities, allow themselves to experience emotions, feelings, experiences in a safe environment. They have a great track record for helping kids not only create new friends and relationships, but also just build self-confidence. If you can donate, that would be awesome. If you can't, it's no worries at all. Hang out, keep having fun with us as we play intense, driving music as we shop this episode. And just stick around for more bullshit. I'm pretty sure there's a pun of the week coming here that's I've avoided for the past month and a half, so I'm gonna stay here and have my salad on this one, I guess.
Don't you mean everybody's favorite segment?
Everyone's favorite segment. That's
Favorite
right.
segment?
That's what I meant to say. Take it away, Energy 9.
Get ready for it.
Okay.
What do you call a baby potato?
Whoa!
A tater tots.
I saw that one coming. Still worth it.
Tolerable.
You
You know
That's
what?
makes
That
it
was
so
spot
good.
on.
Mayhaps the most tolerable one yet.
Uh,
You had that one before?
just-
No, there was one. No, you were generally on board
Call
with the
her ass
2019
out.
puns.
Get her, Dan. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's
Hey,
getting
no,
called
no,
out.
no, I'm not calling her out. This has
What?
been
What?
3 years
Excuse
of
me?
this.
Am I being challenged again? Do
No,
we
no,
just-
no, no.
No,
Do I take my
no.
headphones
Years of
out
this.
and
If
put
she
it back
makes a
in?
mistake
Do we have
tonight,
a
it could
problem?
also have been
No,
it
no.
could also have been someone else.
He's asking
Either or
if
it's
this
just a
pun has
very-
been made before. That's all. That's not a challenge.
Oh, yeah, it has. I occasionally
Oh, it's
do
been made
repeat
before,
them.
so it's
Yeah.
been twice baked.
Oh,
Yes, it has.
Twice baked potato. Okay,
Try
and we're back. And we're back. And we're going to make a quick transition over to Vidar and Luck as they go strolling down through the sort of raucous atmosphere. You saw Luna and Axel sort of disappear down sort of one of these long, winding trails of tents that obviously seemed like a lot of shopping. You see people coming out with bags and stuff. But over the other direction, you can hear the frivolity and excitement of many of the obviously drinking establishments as it's 4 in the afternoon. It's basically midnight, is a huge event. People have been here for multiple days, and the party is getting rolling here pretty good. And so as you head down this direction, you are it's that sort of familiarity that you get from festival life, so to speak. You are able to start to get that excitement, and I'm trying to find my excitement music, as you all start heading down this way. And where the heck is it? We're going to keep going. As you head down there, and you hear a loud voice call out from over in this sort of large there's nothing else to call it, sort of beer and drink garden where a lot of people are gathering. And it is Vidar who recognizes the voice first. Well, I declare, is that Vidar Lycran I see over there? Well, I never thought I'd see that boy again. As you look over and see Beauregard Linford of Linford's Libations in a white suit and a black bow tie, well groomed,
Top hat.
He is hosting the party of parties. The most raucous group. You see a long line of people waiting to get in, and he marches out and grabs you and Luck and drags you all right into the middle of it.
Before he comes out to us, I slam my hand onto Luck's chest and go, Luck,
What?
my tree's here. Beauregard!
I knew.
Why, hell, boy, how'd you get over here?
Oh, well, it was quite the journey. You see, at one point we were down chasing up.
Yeah. Are you drinking yet? And he slams into your hand a snifter of a familiar smell of his special reserve that you all saved when you all were grifting the lift.
Oh, I remember this. You know, I haven't slept in 3 days.
Well, see, that's how you're supposed to do it when you're here at the conclave. And hey, Luck Goldon, we only met briefly way back in the beginning, but it's good to see you again. What are you drinking? What can I help you with? We've got all of our finest whiskeys as well as quite a few of our brews here as well. It's a new industry we're getting into. Apparently people like these craft malted beverages.
Go on and surprise me.
What was that, boy? I'm a bit hard of hearing.
Go on and surprise me.
Oh, surprise. Well, you want something frothy and cold, or do you want something strong and burns?
Let's go with frothy for now. There's you.
And you hear him, and as he snaps, you see quickly a buxom young half-elf woman run over with a tray of a sampler of sort of 6 different beers.
Ooh, I'm gonna take the darker one.
With the light.
Oh, that's nice.
There
Now,
we go.
I do have to ask: is this party gonna go through all night long? Is there going to be a switch from here to the actual celebration, the night, whatever festivities it's on? Is it just going to be here? Also,
Well, for those of us who aren't going to be up there with all the highfalutin over there at the fate binding, we're going to hang out here. We're going to drink and have some fun and live the life like the rest of us do. We're not up there with all of that pomp and circumstance, if you know what I mean.
pomp and circumstance. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you know.
I spent too much money on that.
Pomp? Well, if I recall correctly, my friend, you were spending my money when you were in Falcon's Crest last.
You
Where
was.
my money?
Vidal.
I'm sure you aren't saying you've forgotten my hospitality.
I am not forgetting your hospitality, sir. I remember your hospitality. And I cannot believe the views we had from that. The star was the star of my night.
Ah,
My
see,
stay
there's a
in
good
Convergence.
lad. Making me feel good about investing in you lot.
Truly. And I wish to hopefully still do business with you in the future. We're, I believe, aren't we heading to the right tonight?
Oh, you have got one of the few with the invitations. I should have known that y'all would have finagled your way into some of the special invites.
Yeah. Finagle.
Look, I kind of just stumbled upon it.
Well, for those of us with more exotic tastes, and he gives Luck a lecherous, knowing wink.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Why is everyone ship a married man with a half house?
Roll me a.
So,
Roll me. I will say a. Well, first thing, do you? I'm trying to see whether. Do you think Luck knows what he might be referring to?
I think this one hits him in hits him like over the head, just like wait, what? And they're just huh?
And he just sort of looks at you, and then he gives you an elbow, seeing that you haven't quite gotten it. Oh, we've heard all about you. Mademoiselle Audrenoir, at the Solstice Ball, she's known to appreciate a fine young buck of a human specimen.
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. No,
Yes,
no.
yes, yes,
No,
yes,
no,
yes,
no.
yes, yes,
Vidal,
it is.
See,
will throw you out of the
Vidal's
window.
not going to lie to me, but Vidal's my good friend. He would never tell tales, whereas you're here denying. I understand there's discretion involved when you're interacting in relationships over with some of the higher diplomatic entities in Falcon's Crest, but you don't need to be shy around us.
Kill you. Faith is gonna kill
Vidal
you.
grabbing Vidal's head. I'm gonna throw you so far when we get out.
Political friendships, my friend.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now? Political friendships. I'll remember that one. Ha!
I am so getting a bollocking for this.
Well, here. And he snaps his finger again, and he gives you a bottle of his finest brandy and goes, well, if you could just make a delivery for me for your next rendezvous with Mademoiselle Audrenois, compliments of Linfort Libations. We've always wanted to get into the drow market, but have never quite had an inn like apparently we do now. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I'll be sure luck gets it there. I do have one question. I have this staggering hangover that's just draining me. I'm just completely exhausted. Do you have anything to fix that after 3 days of not sleeping? And after the melee, oof, that was a battle. I haven't slept a good night's sleep since a couple of days before that.
Well, I don't have anything particular, but let me get Lyndon Bandershanks over here. He snaps, and you see his little attaché who helped you all before.
Bandershanks, how you doing, friend?
Oh, Lord. You see him just, his
Yes.
face drops, especially when he sees Vidar. I have your tree.
Good, where is it?
It's packed up in one of the wagons.
I mean, I think...
Yes, I made sure that it came along. I didn't want you to have anything left behind.
You know what? We should get it out for the celebration if it's going to be going on for tonight. You know, a new branch of tree.
Oh, yes, we should. And he looks to
Trees are a good way
Bandershanks.
to branch out.
Oh, Bandershanks' face just looks distraught. Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry.
If you'll come with me, I can get your tree, or if you prefer, I can fetch it and bring it here.
Vidar, go get your damn tree yourself.
Oh, no, we should. He's got to stay here and tell me all the stories, all of what you've done and what you've been up to. Lyndon, run along. Go get that tree for that boy.
Thank you, I appreciate that so
The
much.
dirtiest damn look you've ever received. Just
And
daggers.
I just flutter my eyes and mouth.
He shoots a bird
Blow
at
me.
you and walks off. Make sure
he's
that he
giving
makes
him
sure
the
that Beauregard
leave-ins.
doesn't see.
Is what I'm hearing.
Time passes quickly when you're drinking with our friends at Limfort Libations.
I'm just glad to see that you're all safe during the melee as well. Everything came up well and swell for everyone here.
Oh.
Indeed, wonderful.
Nothing bothers us over here. I heard there was some trouble up around some of the more seedy parts of the conclave, but yeah, here.
Let's just be sure to burn all those red
What?
cloaks.
What kind of trouble?
Oh, something exploded up there, and our poor competitor somehow seems to have lost a whole barrel, really more of a giant stein of their prize frost brew ale. It was such a shame, really.
Ah, truly, the audacity of it all.
Roughly how much revenue did they lose?
Oh, God. Here, where you can sell all that you could possibly want? Oh, probably 20,000 gold.
But the lives saved from it are priceless. You know that,
Nope.
Buck.
Nope, I'm gonna need to find 20,000 gold.
Why in the world would you need 20,000 gold?
Why wouldn't you need 20,000 gold?
Good point.
Oh
Now,
man, Mr. Lawful Good, you're just batting zero lately.
Yeah,
Killing
it's just-
people, reviving them to make yourself feel better, making people lose money. My goodness.
He
Where
spends
have your
15
morals
minutes
gone?
with Vidar. 15 minutes.
15 minutes with a dart and I'm 20,000 in debt. Great.
And apparently cheating on your wife.
you see Linfort take a look at Luck, and who's looking crestfallen, I assume, at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's like.
And he sort of looks. Now, look, I I know that you're a upstanding citizen. But I would have to say, in the down and dirty business of alcoholic libations, if someone happened to be involved with helping me get an edge up in my new craft malt beverages over one of the more established Dwarven families, I would always consider that as a great favor to me and to my business. You wouldn't happen to know someone who I could help ease their conscience over such a friendly act to my company, would you?
That
I'm
just
not a
looks like.
businessman.
Well, I'm trying to be.
No, I'm a miner from a nowhere town. I don't take favors.
That's a shame. Well, whoever it might have been who could have assisted me in such a way, be sure to shake their hand for me in a noble, minerly way. And he then, I have other guests to attend to, and he wanders off into the crowd. Drink everything you want, my friends.
Of course.
Somewhere
Oh.
Luna's sensing the amount of money that could have been made. And is disturbed.
I yell out to Liffin, "Don't you worry, Mr. Liffin, sir. I will be sure to shake his hand," as I then grab onto Luck's hand while he's walking away. Oh, and we will be in Falcon's Crest in no time soon.
No time soon.
Vidar, we're going.
What? We just got here. I want to see my tree. Okay.
I want to throw you across the field.
You know what? Sure.
We are going to fast forward a little bit as the day continues on. Unless there's specific things that you guys want to role play out, your days can roll onward until the party approaches. Luna, you can roll me a tailoring check at advantage as you are in this shop. Tailoring tools check.
I like to imagine the smash cut is just like Vidar's face going towards a camera.
Yeah. Yeah, do me a strength check. Or athletics, either one that you prefer.
19.
Yeah, to 22. Vidar, if you are, or as you are exhausted at this point, yeah. Luck, how far do you throw him?
Yeah, he ends up at like, there's like an outhouse somewhere and he just ends up at the door of it.
I throw my hand up and go, "Ladies and gentlemen, the champion of the Knights Melee." And I'm assuming that's more than 9 points of damage. And Vidar is KO'd.
It makes sure to throw you in a way where you're not going to be mortally wounded. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Damn it. Alright, fine.
I was going to say, you've got lay on hands. You can bring him back
Yeah,
to
just,
one.
Like he goes unconscious and just doom.
About that time, rolls up beside you a wagon. "Your tree, sir." Thump. And with a big smile, Lyndon drops off the tree, basically plants it right next to Vidar, next to the outhouse.
Well, to be honest, I needed to have a shower anyway. Put this cloak up.
Vidar starts to strip down in the middle of the
Just a coat, just a coat, just
Oh,
a
okay.
coat. Just a coat.
Anyway, Luna on a 25. Things go exactly as planned. It's about an hour, maybe 30 minutes before 10 o'clock when the invitation is for. What do you do to your outfit with your outfits to get them to people to get this party underway?
Oh, very easily. She goes over the telekinetic on, assuming that everybody's close enough. Because we're staying at the old house then, yes?
No, you're staying. Basically, you've been staying in Rion's magical
Oh, that's right.
mansion.
You're at Rion's. Okay, no, that's right. Sorry. So over the telekinetic mom, just like get to Rion's now. Time to tailor.
You all understand fully.
There is no alternative offer.
Yeah, you all understand fully what this summons means. I
Axel
assume
with the bag of holding. Everything goes in there. We can move it.
And unless someone's going to make a big deal of resisting, for time's sake, we can. Has everyone arrived or been forced to arrive?
Mid drink. Vidars can put a hand on luck and just dimension doors as far as they can.
Does that mean you're just leaving your tree there?
It's not going to.
Probably.
It's not going to go
Tree
anywhere.
by the
Tree.
outhouse.
Who's?
The world is Vidars' home.
So you guys arrive there. Luna, tell us about the evening's outfits, and as everyone is being dressed, either how and in whatever mood people are in as they are being dressed by prepared by Luna.
I imagine Iska's probably used to it, so she's just kind of like, whatever. And everybody else, it's just kind of like, I don't care what your opinion is. We've done the bathhouse episode. Nobody's body shy. Let's get going.
So, if you guys all get into your outfits, describe to me exactly what your entourage looks like.
Okay, so Luck definitely has sort of like a deep... Luck sort of has like a deep blue military uniform kind of look to him, so something he can still like move in, but like, so it's like close to military dress, but not quite, because it's still, good to fight in. Axel's harder to tell. Axel's probably looks like fancier wizard robes for an event, or whatever he wanted. Like I said, Iska's got the Egyptian royal silver blue thing going on. Vidar, being the sparkle boy that he is just in straight silver, because while it will be the shiniest, it's super gaudy, so it still won't outshine Iska.
Gotcha.
So he's just the sparkliest boy at the ball. And Luna's in, something, like tasteful, like she's in courtesan accompanying. She's just like, I'm on somebody's arm, clearly.
Right.
That's the kind of dress she has.
Cool. How about Lily? Do you have something for Lily?
Oh yeah, Lily's kind of like in, I'd say, Sunday best. Again, kind of with and she's got most of like the white with like a blue train, not blue train, blue like I was gonna say flower design, but blue sort of just like waves on her thing, so like little waves along it, but it's mostly white. So she has Cinderella, and Baby does as well.
Okay, and Riley?
Riley's is kind of like gunmetal gray and blue, sort of similar to. Go ahead. Is Riley not knowing?
Does Axel know that there's an anti-magic field work there?
I was gonna say you weren't. Were you there?
I would probably tell the crew when we got back together to prepare everyone.
Then no, Axel can't. Like if he goes, he is going to be there in his true form, as far as Axel can tell.
You mean Riley?
Riley, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's working with the Markham Arcane, which is a spell.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Just magic. So unless he uses the trick that he uses Agatha's.
Yep.
Tavern Drake's trick, then Riley can't go.
You certainly could transfer your. Yeah, you could put your feather upon him.
Oh yeah, if he can do that, then he would absolutely do that.
Yeah, no, you would basically be able to move your feather over onto him, and basically, he would now look. He would look like what other people see Axel to look like.
That's going to be so confusing for other people, but.
Well, but you're going to now look like you.
But yeah. Which is not something that people have seen for a long time.
I mean, Party has, but yeah, other people will not have. People who have not included in on it. So yes, you're able to do that.
Yep.
So yeah.
But yeah, so he's got an outfit similar to Lux, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of like in blue, but like so blue and gray.
Very good. Okay. And you guys can head out across very much this differing areas. As at 10 o'clock, it seems as though you've got sort of two different factions happening here. You've got this party that is still happening, but then you also have now sort of other places where you see people sort of gathering in sort of quiet, more meditative spaces. Everything is outside. In fact, many of the tents you see have either been broken down or an area of the tent has been sort of folded back in order to make it so that everyone is able to see the night sky. And as you head further, sort of over towards where a lot of the larger tents were, this is sort of an area that you haven't been to before. You do have to show your invitation 3 or 4 times before you get there. That sort of quieter mood now is prevailing more and more. As some of you certainly would know, in fact, probably all of you would know that most of you were at 14, early teens the last time of the Convergence. The Binding of the Fates is almost sort of a more, it's that weird sort of New Year's Eve dichotomy. Except there's a lot more of sort of that old anxiety, taking a moment of reflection, and sort of as the sisters align in the sky, the sort of stars named after the fates themselves, of people sort of asking for good fate and favor upon their next 7 years and being thankful for the previous 7 years. As you show your invitation for the last sort of space, there is quite a bit of a guard presence here, and you come upon this large, open, grassy courtyard. It is quite beautiful. It has been decorated as a formal garden with sort of low, swirling bushes and flowers. And the biggest thing that you notice is spread at fairly even intervals around it. There are these sort of stone pillars, and atop them you see sort of a swirling golden orb of magic. It reminds you very much of the Cairns in some ways that you saw, but certainly Axel, any of our magic users, as you step forward, you can feel the effect of the anti-magic field that these are all producing as sort of an overlapping around here, that these field of lights that are also providing this sort of nice, warm, glowing light to the area are also what is, in fact, casting that anti-magic field, very much like the spell works, the 7th or 8th level spell works within Dungeons & Dragons. But they are basically these overlapping fields. There's some other big magical effects that you all have experienced, even as you experienced the last battlefield, this same type of system of overlapping runes and magical arcane persistent spells to create this area. As you walk in, it's almost a who's who of a lot of the people that you saw at the Solstice Ball once again. Luck, you are able to spot the Drow contingent with Madame Audrenar, the ambassador. Beside her, as you have seen before, is Monsieur Malvert, and Iska, you spot Monsieur Valsois from the Obsidian Order, where you and Celia ventured down into the Night Burrow. Luna, you see mingling among many consorts from the Burning Rose, including Madame Veronica is here, sort of making her rounds. In general, you see a whole group of people. You see the Tiefling ambassador. You see Vey is here. as well. This time dressed as an ambassador, not as a guard. She is basically in this space taking ownership of her station as the tiefling ambassador. Over at the human contingent, a face that you have not seen before except in paintings and on currency. You see Johann Sambarthany, the viceroy of the human lands, and his wife, Madalena. Amongst them, somewhat surprisingly, you do see Astra and Alwyn are there as part of the human contingent, having traveled with them with potentially many stories to tell. You do see the Arcana Mystica has made Enclave as well. Castian Varro is over there, as well as Callista. Callista is not nearly the confident figure that she once was. But there amongst this courtyard, basically a giant night garden party, you see the nobility and royalty of all of Laragoth there to be a part of this ceremony, to commit themselves and honor the fates as the convergence happens. What would you all like to do as you enter this space?
Luna's gonna go over to Madame Veronica,
Mm-hmm.
and she never took the the extra strand out of her hair. That's been there the entire time, even when
Yep. As she comes over, she smiles at you. She excuses herself from whoever she was speaking with, and sort of does her big smile and sort of gives you a kiss on each cheek. You've made it.
That I have.
And has your training served you well?
It certainly has. I am very grateful for it.
We are grateful for what you did, and all of you and your party did at the solstice. We have heard rumor of what occurred after, but as we had to leave to head this direction very soon after your departure, all we have is some of the stories that Alwyn was able to tell us. I would want to hear very much what has all occurred, but perhaps not in a place where there's so many ears.
Yes, there are decidedly more proper venues. But I wanted to greet you as it is with the Steve.
Well, you've certainly come to the right place to get a finger on the pulse of what has become an interesting new relationships amongst the factions of Falcon's Crest, certainly, since your intervention at the solstice.
I am but a humble servant to fate.
She gives you the biggest bullshit smile, totally reading your bullshit, but she goes, of course we
I'm
are.
Iska's manager. I am a servant to fate.
And gives you a big smile and a knowing wink, and then turns to go and greet and mingle herself with ears open.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Are you bringing Lily with you as you mingle?
I am going to bring Lily with me as I mingle.
You do. Veronica looks down and gives a smile. Gives a quick acknowledgement to Lily as she walks away, and sort of wanders off without speaking to Lily, though.
That is fine.
Luck, you do see the drow contingent over there.
Like, checks his back, makes sure Vidar's not following him.
I'm on your other. I'm on the other side of you as you look over, and I pat you on the shoulder. and then walk away.
Thank you.
Did
What?
someone order a special delivery?
Anyway, he walks up politely, like a normal human being.
Telepathically, get him, Tiger.
We may be in one of those fancy places, but I will still throw you to the nearest outhouse.
I know.
As you approach, you do get intercepted by a familiar figure, one of your friends, but this time wearing a awful, absolutely horrible, oversized green hat with a giant purple feather in it as Monsieur Malvert comes over to greet you. Oh, Luck Goldheart, my friend, how are you?
Malvert! You've changed your hat.
Well, you, I believe, still have my old one, so I had to do a bit something different, yes?
Fair enough.
I plan on keeping this one, though. But I bet you have more stories to tell. We hear you were quite busy after your abrupt exit from Falcon's Crest.
I'll...
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. 24.
24, as you notice Monsieur Valsois, who I'm not sure if you know who he is, but intently listening to whatever you might have to say.
I'll tell you, man. I saw dragons out there.
No, there are no dragons on the northern continent. Everyone knows that. Other than, of course, the one that showed up.
Well, yeah. Apart from that one, I could have been mistaken, but I thought it was a dragon.
Is it true you killed him yourself, single-handedly?
Oh no! I always have help.
Well,
Friends and companions.
of course, always friends and companions to help you out with everything you're doing. About that time, you hear another familiar voice. Well, look, Goldheart! Oh, that's the wrong voice.
Say that again?
Sorry, that is totally the wrong voice. Look, no, golly, I've lost her voice. I've lost the drow.
Too many voices.
Too many voices. French
One
older
line.
lady, come on. In a older French lady's voice.
Hello, look,
Ah, there she is. Yes. Hey, look, Goldheart, how are you? And you, Madame Audrenoir, calls you over.
Madame, how are you today?
Well, I am so much better now. Look who has come to visit me. Oh, come on over here. Pull up a chair. Let me look at you and your big, burly self.
Like in the back of his head, I am so getting a bollocking later.
What have you brought me? Of course, you've certainly brought me something, yes?
He passes over the bottle that he was handed.
Oh, well, look at this. Not only brought me a gift for myself, but has brought me something that we can share. And she puts her arms around you and immediately pours both of you all glasses and sidles up over to you. Certainly you won't deny a frail old woman some drink.
Oh, of course not. Be rude of me too.
You were the only one who could keep up with me last time, if I remember.
Sir, experience is the word.
Oh, you act like you're an old man, but you're you're just a young buck.
Yeah. It's how it can be.
Well, for an old lady who's even as an elf only has a few years left, indulge me.
So I assume you have been busy since we last met.
Well, you all seem to bring us all together a bit after your amazing rescue out here at the Solstice Ball. So, one of the first times ever the Drow Nation has decided to attend this Festival of the Stars.
Oh, there's something else we have in common. First time for me as well.
Really?
Indeed.
Youngsters, I always can never tell the judge you humans. I forget how short your lives are.
I'll try and make it count.
So, drink with me and we will bind our fates at least for tonight.
Right.
So, as you all begin to drink, Iska, as you are...
Bind, says the spider.
Yes,
Okay.
you... I guess the big question is, have you let Luck know what you know about Mademoiselle Audre Noire? That she's in fact a Drider?
I don't think it ever
We
came
didn't
up
know
in
that,
casual
no.
conversation.
I don't think it might
It
not
never
have.
came up.
Yeah.
Look, never got informed of this information.
I don't think it ever came up.
I don't think so either. So you're seeing Luck speak with the Drow
I'm
ambassador.
probably not, to be honest with you.
You're gonna pull the don't tell Olaf what summer's really about.
No, I'm probably more focused on Alwyn and Astra.
That's true.
I probably said good luck to the crew and went to hang out with the human contingency for a little bit.
Yep. As you walk up,
So unfortunately, Luck, I'm sorry. It's one more surprise.
so well, Yiska, you hear Astra's voice. Look at you. Wow, you're all dressed up, aren't you? He's actually in his same solstice garb. It is that beautiful, sort of tailored, very much sort of like a Indian wedding wear, sort of an extra long coat in yellows and browns, sort of the colors of the tea hive.
She'll stare at him for a second and just kind of smile, and then not even say anything. She'll just kind of lean forward into this like reunion hug, basically.
Yep, he gathers you close and just sort of gives you this really sort of long hug that you can tell is as laid back as he is. He's put a lot into seeing that you're safe. We'd heard that you were okay, but wasn't sure if you'd have a chance to spare some time for us.
There's a lot going on, and there's a lot to unfold still, but tonight I'm here, and you smell like tea. And that's
Why,
really,
thank you.
really good.
Well, I never travel anywhere without, and you can see on the table, he's not drinking liquor. He's actually got a pot of hot water, and you can see sort of the familiar little satchels from the tea hive. Brought your favorite. Some of the stuff you blended yourself.
I can't wait to have some tomorrow. As she just picks up a wine glass and throws it back a little bit. It's been
Yeah.
a whole lot going on here. Ugh.
Alwyn sort of timidly walks over and Iska, kind of hopefully saying your name,
Oh, same thing again. She'll wrap up with him too.
and he just gives you a big hug. I was worried about you.
Could say the same, but I'm glad you two met each other and came here, and oh my god, you two met each other, and
We've been traveling on the road for the last 3 months, 2 months. I like him.
good.
Slow
Good.
talker, but I like him.
You really gotta plan your day around how many conversations you're gonna have with him. That's true. It does take a while, but he's nice, right?
Refreshing, yeah, actually. From us telling stories, it's kind of nice to slow down. I get it. I get why you like him.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it. And there's a pretty pregnant pause, I think, before.
We talked, your mother and I, and we're just gonna let things stay the way they are. She's well.
Good.
She decided not to come.
Ooh. There's a lot of disappointment on her face with that, but kind of a knowing understanding and just.
Yeah, I mean, she's still at the old house, I guess. Just outside of town. I'm sure she'd appreciate it if you stopped by.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
It was good to see where you grew up.
It worked out. Made me who I am.
For sure.
How about we sit down at this table here, enjoy some fine company, and you two tell me exactly what you've told each other about me, so I'm on the level playing field here, okay?
Well, I wish I could tell you that I embarrassed you by telling Astra all about your childhood, but I wasn't there. So it was more him telling me about you at the Tea Hive. So there wasn't a lot. But I think we can tell you a little bit about they sort of, you see the two of them look at each other, some of the adventure we had along the way up here.
I don't know how I feel about this. So yes, please fill me in. Yes. And
Yeah.
she'll sit and hear the tales they've shared.
Yes. It's interesting. You would not have expected. Your dad seems to have a bit of adventuring bard within him, and roped Astra into a few excursions that were not necessarily endorsed by the human contingent and the caravan. So we'll move on from there.
I
Axel,
swear,
Vidar, what do you...
if there are any aspiring T legendaries coming up without a father figure in their life, I'm going to be pissed. Okay.
Vidar, Axel, what are y'all up to as Luck is chumming it with the Driders? Luna is off and about mingling, I assume. And then
I want to talk to myself for 5 minutes and go see Vay. No, I did.
the two of you can be thick as thieves over in the corners, and
Yeah, well. Axel's a little bit like, it's a room full of people here. Can he see any dwarves?
you actually do see the Dwarven contingent. These are people you've not seen before. It is you heard that they were going to be following the Arcana Mystica through Sojourn's Crossing before you left, but you never did meet any of the dwarves from of the Dwarven contingent that was coming down from Anvilforge.
Well, let's go and we're important people too. Let's go and socialize, and he will start heading over to the dwarves, Dwarven contingent.
Okay. As you head over there, you are sort of intercepted along the way by a sort of burlier, obviously guard type figures towards where the sort of center of it is. And you do see actually a familiar insignia of Stone Anvil Dwarven clans, mainly because Grom would have made you familiar with this in your study of the dwarves. How do you how do you want to try to get into with these folks?
Yes. Good day. Hidden by Axel. I was dwarven raised. I've not met many of my countrymen.
They look you up and down.
He's speaking in dwarven as well because.
Okay, that was a question. And is Riley with him?
Yeah,
with you?
Yeah, Riley is with him.
So they look at the two of you, Tabaxis, Southern Tabaxi, one of the Southern Tabaxi.
Yeah.
But you're speaking in Dwarven, actually, very fluent Dwarven.
And he's certainly got an accent. He's got Grom's accent and that.
You have one of them sort of slam into your chest a big, all but quart-sized, dark Dwarven ale, and he picks one up himself and just looks at you and starts chugging it, almost as though he's testing you.
Oh no, it's been a while. He says out, oh no, it's been a while. All right.
The dwarf just keeps drinking because a person can say they're Dwarven raised, especially someone in Wizard's Roads. He's not. He knows about comprehend languages and stuff.
Yep.
So do you chug it?
Yeah, he's gonna chug it.
Okay, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm going to use advantage on this one. So, 22.
Okay. On a 22, as it takes a second for you to get back into it, but you've drunk first thing your share of dark Dwarven ales, which are dark and Dwarven, and without even stopping all the way down through the bottom of it, and as you stop, he goes, "Aye, welcome," and grabs a hold of you rather roughly and pulls you and Riley into this group of the Stone Anvil Dwarven contingent.
Yeah. And I think as soon as that happens, because when he walked in, he's like, "Okay, I'm good and proper." As soon as that happens, he's almost quite a bit like the Axel that they first met. Very rambunctious, probably making a bit of trouble. But very friendly too.
Frankly, the dwarves are kind of rambunctious and making a bit of trouble as well. And so you kind of see Riley, who's never seen you like this. Dad? And you see then this big grin go across his face. And he looks at you slyly. And
Hold on a moment. Guys, this is my son, Riley. He's not had a Dwarven Stout yet.
They all know. And then one of them gives you a big smack up the head and goes, "You call yourself a dwarf and your son is at this age and you've never even..." And he calls over and just slams one of these into Riley's chest.
Gotta give Riley a pat on the back, because he's not been really allowed to properly drink until now.
He's not been able to drink.
Yeah.
You're
tough. Take it easy.
He gets this big smile on his face, and because he watched this all go down.
Yeah.
And actually, really fast, because even though he looks like a little tabaxi, he's a juggernaut warforged underneath of there.
I mean, he looks like a... Because does the...
Oh, with the feather. No, he looks like a big damn... He looks like a big-ass tabaxi. Yeah, he looks like a very big axle. So yeah, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving. I think he is proficient in them, if I recall.
He is not, but he is tough. Ooh, but...
Yeah, on a 12, he does okay. I mean, for a Runeforged Juggernaut, a 12 on just drinking a lot of beer. Yeah. He gets through it and makes it all the way through. At the end of it, he kind of gives a little... and then he gives a big burp. Kind of resonates. It's weird. It's almost like it's inside of a hollow log because of kind of his nature. So the dwarves all kind of stand back, and a huge cheer goes up from the dwarven contingent. You all can all hear this pretty much all throughout this garden area of and
Dwarves, man.
with the height of Axel Riley, you probably see that are able to catch basically him with this giant mug of dwarven ale as
Yeah.
things are beginning to occur. Vidar, what are you up to?
Vidar, after patting Locke on the back, goes up and notices Callista looking a little less confident. Notices Cassian, human contingent. Goes up to her and gives her a bit of a bow. And say, "Heck of a night, wasn't it, Cassian? Bravo, beautiful work as well. From what I could gather, everything went swimmingly at the night melee after I left. Heck of a battle."
They both kind of look at you slyly, and then Castian sort of jumps right into your subterfuge. Yes, it all cleared up. We mopped things up pretty well. Callista is very quiet, and seems a bit ashamed of herself.
There's no need to feel bad in this situation, Callista. What are you feeling right now? Where do you want to go from here? Also, side note, just wondering, is Ryan Talia still a rock in the anti-magic field?
Ryan Ty is still a rock in that because she is of artifact nature.
Wonderful.
Anti-magic.
She's
Anti-magic field doesn't touch
on
her.
a gaudy necklace around my neck as a centerpiece. I
Okay.
made it on the way there.
Sure. Yes. I 100% support this action.
Excellent fabricate. You made it.
Yeah,
Fine.
absolutely. Yeah, fabricate works. So she just sort of back to the Sky Mages is the plan that I have. I thought it was me. I thought I was going to be the one to chase off those nightmares in the sky. But
The allure of power is a dangerous one. Quickest way is not always the best. Especially from one that shines so bright.
she blinded me to what was right and true.
There's no shame in admitting that. In fact, you could take it as a step to see, yes, you were blind. But it's like everyone else who stares at the sun for too long. Eventually they have to close their eyes and look away. Then their life continues on.
It is true. And
I gotta admit, you had a mean swing on that arm, though. I mean, I got incredibly lucky. But
you are a hard target to hit.
I am a hard... Yeah, I guess you could say that. Many a times I've avoided death's door. Strangely enough, I think I'm dating it. Interesting relationship I have with death. Just keeps knocking. I never truly answer. One day. And I hope to see you both at my funeral on that day.
Well, I hope it is a long way off.
We'll figure it out. There's still a few things for us to do. as I'm sure you both know.
You can see she sort of gives a nod and, if you'll excuse me, and sort of gets up and walks off. You see her looking up towards the sky. And over the course of getting here and sort of making your rounds, Luna, after meeting up with the madam, where would you plan on going to pass the time?
After meeting up with the madam, I mean, she probably would actually talk to Vay briefly, but that's just
Yep.
We're not going to do that. She'd probably just kind of act as Iska's, take her normal, just like, I am bodyguard / manager of the talent.
Okay. As you you can make your way back over to the human contingent. You are welcome there for sure. You do see Celine and Ernesto sort of also making their rounds, both of them from the Burning Rose, your friends from there. And
who's Ernesto, the dude I fought?
Yeah, Ernesto is the doorman.
Oh yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah, that you fought in order to make your way in, and when you were basically acting as a bodyguard before you got your training. And you can see he's basically watching over, just as culture is very different on this side of the Vice, to make sure that these Genasi courtesans are not being that their station is being recognized appropriately.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Luna will kind of like give him a look, just like, you need backup, I got you.
Yeah, and he kind of gives you a nod, and you can see by his eyes where he's darts around to 2 or 3 people in the crowd that he's keeping a special eye on that might have been not as polite as they should have been to some of the Genasi courtesans.
She will take note.
Yeah, but as time it passes. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, Luck, to see how you're doing with drinking with Mademoiselle Audrenois. Come on, finally, one time. With a 12, the lowest con save ever. Maybe it's because you're a little bit offset by this, but so you're drinking faster than you normally do. You actually are finding yourself with a little bit of a buzz as you are sitting here next to Madame Audrenois as you are drinking this Linfort's finest. She is flirting outrageously with you, but you also understand that it is in fun. She's having fun with you. She's an old lady who's ending her life, nearing the end of her very, very, very long life. And she tells you stories of things you can't even imagine from the drow underculture. You do hear a wistfulness in her tone, and about just aging and approaching end of life, which is where you do recall that Axel has this potion of longevity that he has been working with, that he's trying to find a buyer for.
Ooh. We'll give him a psychic message and see what Axel says. Sort of relays part of the conversation to him.
I mean, she's a friend of yours, if you wanted to have it, but it's valuable and supplies are good. But yeah, if she's willing, because I mean, I know not everyone's, some people age gracefully, and I know some people don't. And hey, make the offer. You're a friend. It's all casual. It can all be discussed another time as well. No worries. It's the party.
Yep.
But yeah.
Madam, a friend of mine might be able to help you prolong your life a little longer, if you sought such a thing.
Oh, dear, I have no intention of becoming a lich, but thank you.
No, potion of longevity.
Her eyes light up. A real one?
Yes.
That is very interesting. They are quite invaluable. Not many exist anymore. Would he be willing to part with it?
He's trying to find a buyer.
Is he now? Any other interested parties? Am I going to have to outbid someone?
I don't believe so, right?
Yes, you would.
It's luck!
You
I'm
haven't
sorry,
asked.
guys!
You haven't asked.
No, I
To be
know,
honest,
no,
Axel
it
is
is
all
luck.
friendly about this as well. Like
Yeah.
he's not too. He's like, oh, yeah, we sell it for some money. It's good.
He's gonna message to
No.
Axel if he's got any other people interested.
Probably.
He says probably
Tis at least one person.
at least one.
Oh, I bet it is that. Oh. And you see her wheels turning. If that bitch gets it, I would not be happy. And as she.
That's the plan.
I might get that 20,000 gold, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, look at that. She looks at you and I can't even take that because it's like not even, it's a ridiculous number. Does he say who that buyer might be?
Message.
It wouldn't be someone here at the ball, would it? And you see her eyes dart around the room.
Message to Axel.
Luna, help! I don't know.
Give
Got
Luna
a buyer
quick
who's just like
update,
a
yeah.
shopman.
We bring Luna in.
He's just a shop,
Just all
like
of
the
a
guy
sudden
at the
just
shop.
Give her a rundown. Right?
Just-
Like, just run down, yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
the
no,
guy at
no,
the
no,
shop
no.
is buying
quick
it
rundown.
for
Okay, got it. Just tell her that. Perhaps tell her she could have preferential buying if she offers well sooner.
That's it, yeah, because she's a friend of you, Luck, so.
I believe I believe it could be someone here, but he said that he'll give the preferential people because you know me, and he knows I know you're good for it and all that stuff and things.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to make a roll
Combat
for this.
music. We
She's
need
gonna
combat music.
know, she knows what it's worth. And the question is whether she thinks that she has to outbid someone.
Straight up insight.
Insight?
Yeah,
Just
it's probably
insight.
flat out
Just-
insight, and she's got
Throw to,
good insight.
Well, considering that
Luck's her
Luck
drinking
doesn't
buddy.
know.
Doesn't
Luck
doesn't
he
know
want to help her
either.
drinking buddy?
Well, here's the
out?
thing: Luck is telling the truth, but it seems as though he is negotiating.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that she thinks that he's negotiating.
She's
Fair
overthinking it, and
enough.
looks just like.
This is fun. We need combat music back.
Oh, right. I need to get up like Mortal Kombat or something.
Haggling.
I literally just thought Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
We need haggling music.
I was gonna say.
Oh man, what would be good haggling music?
Hey.
The haggle. On a natural
Do the
20.
haggle. Do.
Ooh.
On a natural 20, this is when I would say a natural 20 thing, because a natural 20 thinks that she absolutely is positive that Luck is haggling with her. That he's that he's telling the truth. She absolutely that he is telling the truth that there is that she'll get preferential treatment, but that someone else has offered money for this.
Not much.
she knows what one of these is worth. So... I don't want to, like, make it a story thing. I'm going to do the... That's what we'll do. I'm rolling a D100. I'm rolling a D100 to see what
Spend
percent...
health to improve it.
I have no idea if high or low is better on this.
No, it's a D100 for what percentage over market value she's going to bid.
Oh.
Spend 100 hit points and bring it down just so you can keep her as a friend.
No! Luck's being 100% honest. He has no reason to spend anything.
She looks you in the eye and goes, with my preferential treatment, I wouldn't want to insult you. So, to let me jump to the front of the line, tell your friend that I will pay him 14,300 gold pieces.
Pass it on to Axel.
You hear a drop down from like a keg drop down.
You hear a pint glass just drop and shatter.
Over by the dwarvens. That's a damn sight more than 3,500. If you can, maybe like a small favor and just drop it down to like 14,000. I think that's more money than I know what to do with.
Look,
I know what to do with it.
You
Tell
make
me.
the decision.
Unfortunately, Luck's going to know exactly what to do with it, too.
If we keep, no, I mean, if we included Luna once, we'll keep her in the conversation.
Yeah, we're keeping Luna in the
That's
loop
fair.
now.
Alright. That seems perfectly reasonable. I agree with Axel. Perhaps even just make it an even 14,000.
Yeah, just
Look slightly pretending like so that isn't, because he does know there's an anti-magic field, so he can't just be like, oh yeah, I messaged them with magic.
Right.
So he just quickly
We did
pulls
forget
out a
about
book. He pulls out a book and like flips like a random book and just flips through it quickly. Probably his
it's
cookbook.
just a picture book.
Yeah, he just flipping through a picture book quickly.
It's just like
It was an apple, a barn,
it's a
a
big
cat,
red
it's the
spot.
ABCs.
Yeah,
Ah,
he
yes.
can I forgot. Yeah.
Just Iskin's shorthand written on the corners.
Inside.
Yeah.
Do you want me to come over and talk to her, maybe?
Luck, dear, but it's not like we all don't have our own ways to use magic inside this field.
He puts it back. Like, I'm not very good at this.
She just looks at you and she pats you on the side of the face and just goes, "Do you accept my offer?"
Make it a nice round 14, and we ask for a favor. How's that sound? According to them.
A favor from the Drow Nation.
Small favor, not a big one. That's
Small
only
favor.
300 gold.
Yeah.
300 gold of a favor.
She does look at you and go, "I assume the favor will be proportionate to my discount."
Indeed.
She looks at you lecherously. "Unless you want to throw in
Oh
a
boy.
personal favor for a bigger favor." And she smiles at you. And you, for the first time, you notice that she has pointed fang-like eye teeth.
The Codex Astartes does not support this action.
Heresy.
"Oh, you're a good boy." And she just snaps her fingers, and literally someone walks over as though it's like what was in her purse drops a sack of gold in front of you. It's actually all platinum. It's 14,000. It's would be whatever 1,400 platinum pieces.
Fantastic.
You can't actually get the potion
Yes.
until he's outside the area.
Yeah, and she's like, to be delivered to my tent in the morning.
Indeed. I'll pass it on to Axel.
Well, since Luna's part of the conversation, like she will just very, swiftly just like come over, bow, pick it up, and go back away.
Where's her tent? I think Axel will probably head over there as well at this point.
So, as Luna walks up, fully courtesan mode, you see Madame Audre Noir look up and she goes, I knew it was that bitch.
Just like Luke just passes on. Luna, I say you don't come say thank you right now.
Oh no, she wasn't referring to Luna as though she was reading that it's someone that has a Genasi courtesan who was the other bidder.
Okay, now I get it. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That one's with she's with us.
Oh, I understand. You're such a sweet boy. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer, not the sharpest dagger in the sheath, but I've got somewhere where you can sheath even a dull dagger.
Gee!
She's fucking
Mine shot for a little minor.
Do you have like flint? Do you have like flint lined in the sheath then?
Oh no!
Oh.
She just clinks her drink with yours. Just keep drinking, Luck Goldheart.
Adorable.
You are adorable.
Luna could give Luck some courtesan tips if need be.
Luke is in married man mode.
I know. I kid.
Anyway, while these negotiations have been going on, other conversations are going on, you do hear a sort of hush come over the crowd, and we get out of our active music.
Haggling music.
Haggling music. Good lord. The fact that my combat music is now haggling music. You do hear a hush fall over the crowd. And conversation begins to stop. And you see people begin to look skyward. And overhead, in this clear, beautiful sky, the full moon having just dipped below the horizon, so the sky is completely dark. You can see a spot that you've all looked to before. Vidar has pointed it out. It is the Three Sisters. All of you from this world are familiar with the Three Sisters, as they are often something or someone, entities that people call out fate when they need anything from luck at dice to luck on the battlefield for a change of fate. Everyone begins to look up and see these three stars, which are normally spread out across the night sky, become into almost a perfect vertical line that looks as though it's pointing down towards the far horizon. And as you watch, you can see that line, which was just a little bit crooked as the moments slip by, becomes an absolute straight line. Even the dwarves begin to quiet, and you see many of their mugs begin to lift towards the sky. Many people who are so inclined clutch symbols of either deities or luck or whatever remembrance that they carry on themselves to remember people, places, things, loved ones. They all sort of take a moment and, as is the custom of this world, bind themselves to the sisters and to fate. As that moment arrives, almost perfect silence pervades this garden. In fact, the entire conclave, these thousands of people who've brought together, even where there was sort of raucous partying, seems to stop for a moment. And as that happens, you hear a lone voice, clear as crystal, begin to sing. And it begins to sing Children of the Children. Luna, you look down, and it's the first time you have heard Lily raise her voice and begin to sing this song. And as she sings, you feel that same sense of peace that came over you when you first met her after everything that had happened at the conclave, right there at the night melee. And all of you can feel this, and it begins to spread as her voice in this silence seems to be amplified first one time, then another, not to its painful, but just no matter how far you are away from her, it is as though she's singing right next to you. Vidar, an interesting feeling comes over you that you've only ever felt once before. It is like your stomach falls out, as though the ground opens up below you and are suddenly connected to this deep wellspring of magic. It is the same feeling that you felt when Kel, as the anchor, tapped into the forces in the grove that restored it when you were outside of Falcon's Crest. You feel that vast, deep connection, almost endless, into the earthen wells of magic. Luna, you feel a small hand reach up to clasp yours. And as she grabs it, grabs your hand, your vision, looking up at the sky, you can see you're beside a flickering campfire, which doesn't make sense because there were no campfires here. And as you look around, you see yourself sitting around a campfire in an unfamiliar landscape, but sitting in this circle, you see Stroth. You see Anna, the Air Genasi that you had saved. You see Bryn, who was sort of stocky and chubby when you saw him and rescued him from East. Now, almost athletic looking from whatever adventures they've been on. Landon, the human who had been convinced that he was an Earth Genasi. Melinda and Roland, the others that you had saved. And sitting next to you is Dustin, looking to the sky. You see yourself being somewhat ethereal as you're holding Lily's hand. But Dustin, as he looks to the sky almost as an afterthought, reaches over and takes your other hand. And here, halfway across the world, you feel his familiar, calloused hand from working in the fields, from fighting as a vice runner, clasp yours. And you see there, so far away, a smile come across his face as he looks to the stars. And you hear him speak. She's found her. She's found my Luna. Just as the last strains of Children of the Children end, you are brought back to the conclave, standing there, sack full of platinum, looking at the stars with your friends. You can still feel sort of that phantom presence of Dustin's hand within yours, knowing that they're on their way to meet you in the center of the vice. The rest of you, as you look up to the sisters, what crosses your minds?
Vidar is when the gates open, Vidar did hold out the sphere of Winter Wonders, and it was just a reflection on the Frost Prince and what he once meant to him, well, still does. And he says to Ryan Talia, embrace what he learnt. See how it feels to be on the other side of order. And at the end of Children of the Children, he looks directly at the Viceroy and says, my Viceroy, how many years have you sat through the same song and dance? In fate we are bound, but we can push through. I am Vidar Lycran. I am here tonight to speak with you. The solution of the vice, returning the skies, bringing back peace. I ask for your assistance, and in return, I offer you this. And that is the hidden battle of Falcon's Crest, from the blinder of the seers. I hope to gain your assistance and trust.
As that is happening, over at the Dorvan contingent with Riley and Axel,
Axel remains quiet, but he's sort of, one bear raised, just one hand on sort of Riley's arm. He's thinking about, the just fates and how they work and how it works. But mostly he's just thinking about it's a good day, it's good people. And we took the right steps to get to the right place. But yeah, he's just there with his son, enjoying this moment.
Iska, with Astra on one side of you, your father on the other.
Just a hand on Alwyn's shoulder, the other beneath the table, squeezing Astra's hand. looking at the stars and hoping that she'll be able to live up to those three. Knowing she has to. And no matter how long her personal story goes on, our story is about to end. We gotta try to make it a good one.
And we're going to go to Luck with the drow contingent.
Sort of just sits there, goes quiet, sort of nods. Nice.
And we'll end with Luna. Lily, still holding your hand, sort of looking to you. She's smiling.
Did you? It seems a little, let's say off balance. Just like, did you see your father?
Yeah, I did.
Good. Well, you'll get to see him in person soon. So will I. Mine. Just kind of seems lost in thought over that.
Yep. And she just says, baby too.
Looking back. Yeah. Baby too.
And as the convergence slowly slips out of alignment and you hear conversation begin again, you see people almost looking to try to figure out where the song came from, as though looking to their neighbors, as though someone next to them was singing it instead of from Lily. But there is still that sort of feeling of peace amongst those here. The only thing you notice from over near the Arcana Mystica contingent, a lone figure sort of storm out the far side of the garden and into the shadows. And that is where we'll end our session of the Vice today. Thank you, everyone.
That was mostly an upper. Now I'm concerned for next session.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we will go around real quick to meet our players and where we can find them out on the interwebs. Good Guy Pie.
Hi everyone, I'm Good Guy Pie. You can find me on Good Guy Pie on Twitch, Too Good To Guy on Twitter. And yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next up, Alicia.
Hey, I'm Alicia. I'm Energy98 on Twitter, where I do puns and other stuff. And March, I should finally be able to get back to streaming because I need to play Monster Hunter again. I need it. It's snowing outside right now. No, seriously, it's snowing outside right now, and I need my Iceborne Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Next up, Bird vs. Plane.
Hey folks, I'm Bird vs. Plane. You can find me at that name on Twitter and on Twitch, where I'm also streaming. So come hang out and check out the new emotes.
Next up is Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I was playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi Dragon Wizard. You may find me on the internet anywhere as Templar Warden. You may find me on Twitter at Arena Templar. You may find me and, of course, everyone else here and all the people generally in the chat in the Discord that I will link in chat in a moment. Good session.
And last but not least, Dragons or Cats.
Hello everyone, I am Dragons are Cats. I hope you are all feeling well. I was playing Vidar Lycran, and you can catch me everywhere on everywhere on the Twitters and on the Twitch as Dragons Are Cats. And also check out Tall Squall's newest emotes, along with Bird vs. Plays. They are gorgeous. Also, sunglasses just fit onto it perfectly.
Oh, look at that.
Just blown away. I was just so impressed with it.
Sweet.
Great session.
Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, gather your friends together and tell a story, because that's what it's all about. We're going to go over and rate our friends at Encounter Roleplay. Have a great one, and goodbye, everyone. Be good. Be kind to each other.
Stay hydrated.